was provided to them. They came and they interviewed individuals in terms of anything they wanted to know. Now, later you get to hear that because we were cleared, it was not only myself, there were a lot of other people. It was a big report that found others wanting in others. They said, no, this one is okay, it's cleared. And then we were happy that, okay, that part has been put to bed. So accordingly, Advocate Mkhwanazi determined that the conduct of COJ did not amount to improper conduct or as contemplated in section 182, subsection 1A of the Constitution, nor to maladministration as envisaged in section 6, subsection 4 of the Public Protector Act. To avoid prolixity, I attach here to marked SS2 the relevant portions of the Public Protector report for ease of reference. Can I go to 53? Yes. Notwithstanding that Public Protector report exonerated both myself and COG of any wrongdoing in relation to my appointment, Al-Jama Tapelo Ahmad nevertheless persisted in publishing statements impugning the legitimacy of my appointment and alleging inter alia that I was incapable of, unfit to hold the position of head of group forensics, was politically compromised, and that my independence, impartiality and credibility had been impeded as a result thereof. Unlawfully procured spying equipment, which I utilized to spy on councillors that were not affiliated to the DA, and in so doing that I had committed various crimes. Now, accordingly, in and around June 2022, I launched an urgent application in the Johannesburg High Court against Ahmad and Al-Jama, in terms of which I sought protection against Ahmad's ongoing and anticipated unlawful and defamatory statement and publication, some of which were issued on the eve of my urgent application. The court held that statements were made by Ahmad were not only de facto defamatory, but were patently false. Additionally, the statements were not benevolent statements made for the public's interest or the sake of their interest, but were inappropriate as well as exploitative and purely derogatory in nature. The court was of the view that I had, through my counsel, provided ample factual evidence that demonstrated the patently false nature of the statement. My application was thus granted with cause. Ahmad and Al-Jama noted an appeal against the court's decision. However, the appeal was dismissed. The effect of the dismissal in that the original judgment stands in full force and remains binding, thereby confirming finding of defamation against me. Now, the city of Joburg is political parties. If other political parties attack the mayor for being a mayor in a political party, and they use a particular approach to say he implemented this, he appointed this one illegally, this is what was happening in the city of Joburg. But safe to say that, firstly, Chair, what I want to talk about, the issue of Al-Jama or the issue of the procurement of the spying equipment. It is very much important that I put it, because this thing was reported to the Public Protector, reported to the Inspector General of Intelligence, who referred it to the SSA as it is their mandate, also investigated by the Hawks, and then also by other private companies that were investigated. SSA are the ones who's got the mandate, and they even wrote a letter that says we are the ones who will be able to tell you whether this is a spying equipment or not. They went through that. They came to the office, Hawks, Public Protector, they also came, SSA, they went through the equipment. And they went through the war room that we built. Now, Allow me, Chair, to just give you why we had to procure such. I'm a trained investigator and a well-experienced investigator in the field of investigation. Where I grew up in the investigation company, we had the Scorpions, they had what we call the Crime Information Collection Unit. We, at the DPCI, as we speak, they've got what we call the PCMC, Priority Crime Investigation Management Section, where you've got your analysts, where each and every docket that is being opened is also analyzed, so that you can see whether you can connect this person, modus operandi, or... Now, in the city of Joburg, the city's got something like, I don't know, I can't remember whether it's 13 entities, but also departments, but another one is 20 or another one is 13. But what is important is that there's so much crime committed in the cities, different cities. There's so much corruption. There's so much theft committed in every space. In other instances, you find that at revenue services, where people pay electricity, you find that you've got people that are touters. You find many people roaming around there. When you come to pay, they'll say to you, the queue is long. Let us see how best we can assist you. Let us do this, and then we can get your account also maybe a discount. They work with certain individuals inside. Now, you need to know if you are group forensics. To start with, I'm the one who established Group Forensics and Investigation Service. It was for that reason that I was employed as well, and say, we want to establish this crime fighting machinery, and I am the one who established it. Now, I say we are here working for the city, and we say we are a world-class city. I need to know, we've got hijacked properties in the city of Joburg. Do we know, as the city of Joburg, how many buildings are hijacked? Who are their owners? I need a system that will capture that part. Now, do we know which department in the city or entity where the city is losing more money and why? We need the entities and to see how they're losing money and what crimes are being committed in different environments. Now, we also have situations where each and every now and then you get a call that says, I suspect my office is bugged. I need someone to come and sweep this office. Now, all right, to do that, state security cannot be every day in the city of Joburg and various other municipalities. Now, what the state security did, they trained each and every department of government, even in the municipalities, they will train what we call a security manager, who has done information information management, MIS document, a minimum information security standard document that you will implement. Whether you're talking about document security, about information security, physical security, all those things. Now, in my case, I say, all right, now we've got a lot of theft of laptops, theft of city assets. Now, I said, let's go and do a benchmarking. We went to the Hawks, we went to the banks, we went to Protea Coin, we went to, but we went to 5 different departments to see how best can we have a war room with screens. You've got one car that pours petrol 5 times in a day. Where does the petrol go? You've got one car
General,
that every second...
Sorry to do this. You're giving a lot of examples to explain the picture, but I think you need to now get to the point of what you're trying to say.
Chair, in all fairness, this is a burning issue at the city of Joburg. And every now and then I'm being accused of having procured the spying equipment. And I'm trying to give a background of all the things that led to me. I wanted the chair, and I want the public, and I want the city to know that it was not spying equipment. It was equipment that should monitor what is happening, all the crimes that is committed in the city of Joburg. It was the equipment that says, if case, or once you put this name here, this person is involved in that crime and that crime and that crime, and in this department, this car is the one that is pouring petrol 10 times in a day or what. Now, even other cities were benchmarking from the city of Joburg, because we were trying to make sure that we fight crime in totality. And as I was giving you about the backing of the offices and everything, is that the city was also losing more money. In a sense that every now and then when a new MMC or a city manager or a executive director wants to say my office is, I suspect is bugged or something is happening in my office, come in. Now you have to employ a private company, you pay 35,000 to 40,000 rand every now and then. Then we say, but the city is losing a lot of money. This equipment, then we have an engagement with state security that it is this security that this device that you check whether there is any listening device, is there any bomb? Now, that the city can own. Now we ask state security to say, this you can have, this can have, this can have, this can have, and there are people they trained. Now we had that. Now, those were the equipment procured. And then those equipment were not procured by myself. There's a committee that deals with finances. It must go through the process, even the city manager. But worst of all, the person who signed, I've got documentation, who signed for the procurement of those things is the wife of the city manager, who is the one who turns in turn and says, I procure spying equipment. And she's the one who procured and who signed.
But who suggested the purchase? Was it not you after that benchmarking exercise you referred?
I suggested, in my case, I'm building capacity for the city to be a world-class city. I copycat like what the DPCI has to say, we have this environment, now we need to make sure that we know what is happening. Every case that we have, we need to know that this case is not, we're not dealing with a syndicate or we're dealing with an individual case. That is the basis for which we had to procure such. It was just a crime-fighting machinery, nothing to do with spying. But of importance, the state security said there's no spying equipment. They keep on talking about the grabber. There was no grabber ever procured anywhere. And even now, there's no grabber, even in the paperwork.
What capabilities did the machinery have?
The state security is said is just I wanted to use the exact word in the report, Chair, but what?
No, you say you recommended the purchase of the machinery. I'm asking you what the capabilities of the machinery were or are.
It was
that does not require the report.
Yeah, it was just a preventative measures to see that you are not being listened to, or you are not, or there is maybe others. It was cameras and video cameras. It's just a lot of equipment that we needed. But
for example, I'm thinking, why would CCTV cameras not have been sufficient? Why this machinery? That's why I want to understand the special capabilities.
A CCTV camera, Chair, most of the CCTV cameras, you find that they've been disabled or they don't work. And then in your own office, as a city manager or as mayor or whoever, you won't have cameras all the time in your office, but you suspect that there are things planted in your office. But it was just a counter of such things and on within the law. And the SSA even said it cannot even be repurposed to be a listening device or a spying equipment. So we were happy that we were cleared. Even the DPCI.
Perhaps, before you get to being cleared, I still want to understand how it worked in order for me to understand why you are saying it was not a spying device. How exactly would it assist you in curbing crime or stopping the commission of crime?
May the chair repeat the question? I heard what the chair is saying, but I was just trying to also think, in my mind, I was trying to see if I can get that SSA document.
You see what I'm trying to get at is, would you plant something in someone's office to be able to see who they meet with and for what purpose? Or how exactly would this machinery assist you? Because if you would plant it in people's offices, then obviously it would be a spying device.
No, we're not planting anything in anybody's office.
What did you do with the machinery then? That's what I'm trying to understand. How did it work?
Chair, we are talking about the equipments that are within group forensics, that should the chair says, can you please come and sweep the, where there's going to be a council meeting, and then they sweep the council meeting. Mostly we have to call SSA, or we could do it ourselves, because these are people who once worked at the SSA, who worked there as well, who were trained to use such equipment. So the capability was that they were all preventative measures, not spying devices. It's not something that can spy you.
So the equipment, to just follow on from what the chair posed to you, you're saying the equipment that was purchased was equipment that permitted you, as the city, without outsourcing it to private companies, to do sweeps in order to check for interception devices. And that's the only type of equipment that was purchased.
I don't say that's the only type. There were a lot of equipment.
There was other equipment.
Yes, but
And
those
what equipment was that? You mentioned cameras, I thought. What type of cameras?
I need to be assisted to get to the list, to the state security reports, because I don't want...
Well, General, whilst you are being assisted, perhaps let's take the tea adjournment at this stage and resume at 11:20. Let's adjourn.
Thanks, Chair.